This Social Security measure gives at least some protection
for anybody to hand this out. We're asking for a chance to have the people who will receive the benefit to earn their way. The same principle established under the Social Security system in the 30s.
It is no longer acceptable to discuss women's rights as separate from human rights.
I know we can come together to face down the challenges of our own time.
Welcome back. I'm David Campbell with my co-host Cindy Rosenwald, and we're here with another edition of The Democrats. We're interviewing House candidates, and today our special guest is Michael O'Brien, candidate and former state representative from Ward 9 here in Nashua.
Correct.
Michael, nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. My pleasure to see my two colleagues again. Thank you for having me.
So let our viewers know a little bit about yourself. Give us your background, some of your community service. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I came up here to Nashua, and my main occupation, I've been a firefighter here in the city for 32 years, and now I currently hold the rank of deputy fire chief, and which is a managerial position, within the department for 12 years. So since that time, since the early 80s, I've adopted Nashua and tried to make it my home. Took keen interest in this community, and through the years did a lot of things such as coaching NYSL soccer, Nashua Blast program, which led me up into assistant coaching the JV program at Nashua High School. So very pleased with my roots that I have laid down up here.
And your children were born here, right?
Yes, I put 3 right through the Nashua school system, to which I totally agree with and support. I think it's one of the better school systems, and I like to continue and make sure that does not come under any further harm that seems to be under attack lately.
Didn't you have some other community service, some advocacy groups that you work with?
Yes, well, I've been through my experience with the transportation. As you know, I was in the House before, and I served on the Transportation Committee, and I was very fortunate to be appointed Vice Chairman of the Transportation Committee,
right.
And used that experience to, again, bring it home here to Nashua. And I served on the Mayor's Transportation Committee that worked with moving different things around the city and affecting that. And that also led into being a member of the Great American Downtown. Those are the folks that bring us the holiday stroll. That's always a great enjoyment here in the city, and it's a great thing for the people downtown, the business in that community.
And the whole city. That's
right,
wonderful.
Exactly. It's very well taken.
And the taste of downtown,
right.
too.
And then over the years, again, with the coaching with the kids in various programs, and Special Olympics, which is one of the things very near and dear, and working with the kids in that type of program. It's been very enjoyable here.
So while you were on the Transportation Committee, what were some of the issues that you were really involved with, that you helped out on, that were important to you?
Well, it's one of the things why I'm running again. I mean, I am very keen on commuter rail. Baseline, I think it's a very economical way to move people from Nashua here down to Boston. It's going to open up many financial doors. It could, and from studies that I have seen, it could raise the property value in the city because of communities that do have commuter rail. They seem to do a little bit better in that type of department. It also is going to open up where a graying state just could kind of help alleviate that, bring more young people, maybe perhaps more businesses, perhaps more industry, by opening this door with commuter rail. So I see nothing but great things coming from it. Sadly, on this last 2 years in this House, I've seen that been thrown on the back burner and practically destroyed. And I'm very ashamed for that. I mean, a lot of us have worked hard on that to get it to that particular point. We're almost there. And I think this last 2 years have extremely hurt that program.
Well, one of the things I always hear from voters when I'm walking around my district is how much they want to see rail come back to Nashua. And besides the fact that the voters want it, the business community has it as a very high priority for them as well, because they see the economic development benefits of rail.
Representative Cindy, I could not agree with you more. I have recently received a letter from the Board of Aldermen expressing that we do support commuter rail as one of our candidacies, as we get into the House. Which leads me to why didn't the others? I mean, aren't they listening? Aren't they listening to the people? And are they concerned about something that could provide growth for our city? You know, and this is the other thing. Other people in their party may not agree with commuter rail, and I think that was one of the problems. But one thing that I'm going to do, that I have done, is when I go up to Concord, as I've done in the past, is vote as a Nashua. Issues that regard Nashua. I have stayed with Nashua. I've worked with Mayor Bernie Streeter and Mayor Lozo. And I think both of them can attest that I had the Nashua concerns and whenever I voted, and always thought of my local community first, regardless of party.
From your experience as a longtime firefighter and now a deputy chief, and your experience in legislature, can you share with us some of your thoughts on the downshifting of costs, the program cuts, and the effect they've had on Nashua, your department, just, you know, philosophically, how
Well,
is that affecting?
any time that you downshift costs down to the local community, Nashua tries to run its fire department as efficient as possible. The same with the police department and school department, most of the other budgets. I think we can all know that there isn't a heck of a lot of fat that is really out there. And to have any more cost shifting come down, particularly in this economy, the people are going to have to make a decision in the future, what type of fire department or police force that they actually want to have.
So did the state actions, did it make it more difficult for you to put your budget
Well,
together?
of course. The state has the Fire Academy, is what I'm basically talking about. So without the Fire Academy, that's a very good program there that takes young firefighters, gives them the opportunity to go up there and to learn the skill. And when they come out and graduate from the academy and come to get jobs in Nashua, we reap the experience that they have got from that education. Also, there's also the fire marshal's office that comes up with laws and codes and different things within the state, and any type of cuts to that type of thing can affect to risks in type of building constructions and different issues along that line. So the cost shifting does come down to, can have some effect, most certainly onto public safety. It could affect the hiring process. If too much of the cost shifting comes down to the local communities, fire chiefs or police chiefs are going to have to look and say, is it worth having more firemen or more police officers? If it gets too expensive, they may cull back and not really put the people onto the street. So the cost shifting can have a very negative effect, absolutely.
Well, I think we've run out of time today. It's been a pleasure having you. We
Thanks, Michael.
have been talking with Mike O'Brien, Deputy Fire Chief and candidate for State Rep in Ward 9. I'm Cindy Rosenwald, and this is my co-host, David Campbell. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. That's good, Mike. That was really good.